Welcome to the Utah Football Fans Podcast. Please like, subscribe, and share. And as always, go Utes.
Yes, yes, yes. Football is back. I'm tired.
I'm so tired.
So come on.
I can't get
Wake
back
up.
on
Wake up.
mountain time quite yet.
Wake up.
Got a Mountain Dew or a Red Bull over there.
I've had one today, and that's worn off.
I need one in a bad way.
Oh, man. Yes. Hello again, Utah fans. Welcome to another episode of the Utah Football Fans Podcast. Thank you for tuning in, joining with us. Right off the bat, we want to thank our sponsor, Thomas Orthodontics. Please check him out, thomasortho.com. Please like, subscribe, share. We are doing a giveaway right now on our Instagram page this week until Thursday morning. So look us up, Utah Football Fans, on Instagram. Giving away some Utah gear, so make sure you look at that.
It's free crap. Everybody wants free crap.
I know. Well, free Utah
decent
stuff, so
stuff.
of course you
It is
want
actually. That hat's pretty sweet, I got to say. So
And thank you to
Maybe
the
I'll win it.
You are
you're disqualified.
ineligible. I don't think I mentioned that, but you are. Sorry. And thank you to the Red Zone for helping us out with those giveaways. But
Give us some more.
alrighty.
Give us some more.
Well, we just said we haven't adjusted back. But
Let me ask a question.
Okay.
What movie did you watch on the airplane?
I watched about 5 episodes of Better Call Saul. That's what I watched.
Good choice. Okay. That's
'Cause
an A. That's an A.
I watched like the first 2 seasons, then I stopped. So I got to get back into it. But I figured I should start over.
So now you're okay.
So I'm getting back into it.
The back episodes
That's what
series is the best.
That's why I'm doing it, because
Okay.
everyone on Twitter is freaking out
That's
about
good.
it. So I started back over.
Yeah.
So
I watched When Harry Met Sally because I like rom-coms on airplanes because you don't have to think about it.
you have
too
to
much.
worry about what's going to pop up on the screen with your.
Well, I didn't have my children, so I didn't care.
I
but
guess I did. So
but hey, at least we got home on time. Unlike the Utah football team, who did not get home until Sunday evening at like 8 p.m. If you haven't heard about that whole fiasco, they couldn't fly out Saturday night after the game. Plane malfunctions. I don't know.
well,
but
they sat on the tarmac for 4 hours.
I know. It's just such
It's
a
awful.
nightmare. I feel so bad for everyone who had to go through that, but they did finally get home safely. So thankfully.
What did you watch? What was your movie of choice?
I watched John Wick.
Okay.
My husband watched that too.
That is an
Okay,
that's
of
a
the
great-
series, number 1 is the best. Just is.
Oh, by a wide margin.
Isn't there 3?
There's 3.
Okay, the first one is the best. On the way back, I watched some of the U.S. Open tennis till I fell asleep, fortunately. Anyway, okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
question, good
football
question.
is back. Isn't it cool?
Isn't it
Well,
ever?
seriously.
Oh yeah, it's
I
great.
love it, man.
I'm watching it. I'm watching the game right
The
now.
Clemson game's on right
Clemson,
now.
who is making my playoff prediction look really bad right about now,
they're not
playing
looking so
Georgia
great.
Tech. So it's great, dude.
Hey, football, I've watched a bunch of games.
Well, it was like 5 days straight. It was like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Some good, some terrible, but man, it's great when it's not your team and
Been
you
some
can
great
just.
games, though.
There have been some
Oh,
great
yeah.
games.
I mean,
LSU of Florida State. Holy crap!
what a
game.
Oh, we'll have to talk. Maybe
We'll get
talk.
into it.
I'm
Get
just
into
saying,
that.
the excitement of football is here, and there's nothing like college ball. Even over the pro
Agreed.
pro
Yeah.
football. College
different.
is just different. I love it. It's fun.
I can turn it on all day. I can't do that with NFL, but college, you can just turn it on all day and watch whatever game is on.
Unless it's Iowa, because that's just as boring as it gets.
Oh,
if you need a nap,
God.
if you need a nap,
A field goal, and two
two
safeties.
safeties. They got 7 points out of a field goal and 2 safeties.
That's. Anyway, it's just
Oh,
you just never know with college ball.
terrible. Hey, they won.
Man, I got to quit smoking.
Oh, it's passing along to
Pass
me.
it on to you.
What's wrong with you?
All
two?
right, let's get down to it. I mean,
My throat
Let's
is
talk.
gone.
Let's go.
Okay, Utah fans, thank you for coming on. Our Ohio State people, if you're watching, thanks. And to all our Florida subscribers,
Our
All the
new-
ones who were
thank
saying,
you. Thank you for
Our new
subscribing.
Florida
It's
subscribers.
great.
We
It's
had
good
quite
to
a
have you.
few.
It's good to have you.
I had a bunch say, "Oh, I'm looking forward to your follow-up."
Here it is.
Here we
it
go,
is.
baby.
So
You're going to hear it.
we do this every Monday. So if you're waiting for it, every Monday we do this. Tuesday it drops. You are welcome.
Here it is.
Hopefully we
truth will
entertain
come.
you.
All right. We've got a lot of things to talk about, obviously, but let's talk first. Going to the swamp, okay? I'll give you my feel of it, and then whatever you think. Look, I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Personally, I love going to these storied places. The swamp, Florida football is college football.
Yeah.
The success, the winning, the championships, the atmosphere. I loved it, man. It was cool. Yeah, when you get 90,000 people into a stadium, it gets raucous and there's a lot of noise.
And boy, do they pack you in there.
Yeah, you're squeezed in, but I loved it. Now,
Gonna say something.
some of the things I liked the music that they played. I liked the volume of it. It just
Loud.
got it going. The Pledge of Allegiance.
That was cool.
That is
Loved
sweet.
that. It was Pledge of Allegiance and then national anthem. It was.
And we had the flyover.
flyover. I
love
was
a
so high,
flyover.
I almost touched the plane.
All of
though.
that was
Love a flyover.
that was amazing. I thought it was cool. I don't know, and then I don't know what it's called when is it the third quarter? Everyone puts the lights up.
Yeah.
Kind of sways back and forth. You know what? I liked it.
Oh, I sing my heart out.
I thought it was cool, and I did like the Tom Petty thing. So all those traditions, props to it. And I just, I'm sitting there looking around and seeing the stuff on the walls, and
Yeah. National championships, and they got Heisman Trophy winners.
it's cool, man.
It was
I loved
cool.
It was a great atmosphere. So
I
I'm glad I went.
I love a college town. We don't really have that same feel here in Salt Lake
At all.
So I love going to these college towns, and I really like when the stadium is like smack dab in the middle of campus, which the Swamp was, because then you get to see a lot of their campus around. And the thing that I found so interesting is I don't feel like we've ever been to an away game where in our hotel there are more home fans than away fans, because not a lot of people, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it doesn't seem like a lot of people live in Gainesville. So all the Florida fans travel into Gainesville for the game. We had so many Florida fans in our hotel. Props to you for doing that, because that would get tiring to always have to travel in for your home game. I thought that was cool. The Swamp was wild. Loud. I feel like the music never stopped. They have a DJ who does it. It was loud and it just never stopped. And that does bring up the atmosphere. It was very loud. Love the flyover. I liked the lights. I did feel bad because the football team had posted that they wanted to do the lights with Utah fans at the end of the third quarter for the moment of loudness. I don't think anyone realized that Florida does that tradition. But it was cool, and the song and everyone singing, it was cool. I
great.
like seeing all the other traditions that everyone else does, because it's fun to experience those.
Yeah. I mean, the same. Walking in, and it was just kind of, you look around, and I was impressed. Same things you guys said. They said that was the largest crowd for a opening game in Florida football history. 90,799 people. And it felt like it.
Yeah, it did. That's great.
Gets extremely loud. Couple things surprised me. The band, like the halftime, the band didn't go on the field and do that kind of surprised me. Pledge of Allegiance was very cool. Probably the loudest stadium experience I've ever experienced. Not necessarily like during play. It was loud. Don't get me wrong. It was very loud, but I don't feel like it was overwhelming. But that when they picked us off at the very, very end, the place
Yeah, that was loud.
exploded. That was the loudest fandom experience I've ever been a part of. And I've been in some big ones. So that was, I mean, yeah, it sucked, right? But
I agree
kind of
with
took a second to go, holy crap, this is loud.
I do agree with that. It was
right?
loud.
My heart fell out of my body,
The thrill of victory.
and
Because they saw defeat coming, it was stopped.
And it was, they got, hey.
And hey, they celebrated.
Good.
It was loud.
It was cool. I get it.
The
was
one
then.
thing that sucked is as we parked and we were walking to the stadium, it was the Florida downpour, right? So we didn't get an opportunity to walk around and see the tailgate because a lot of people had kind of huddled up, gone into the Union, gone into parking garages to get out of the rain. So I'm a little bummed I didn't get to experience that. But as far as the stadium goes, I've been to some big time Michigan, been to Notre Dame. This was probably the best like fandom experience I've been a part of.
Yeah,
It was great. All right, let's talk about this because we heard it a lot from a lot of people, a lot of comments prior to the game about we're underestimating the heat and humidity and the how loud it will be and the effect.
Yeah.
These two things. So, as far as I'll just say for myself on the heat and humidity, if it would have been during the day, it's a different animal.
Right.
But at night, yeah, it was humid. It really didn't affect me. And we don't have the clip queued up, but Coach Witt did talk about that today. And he says it wasn't as bad as they anticipated it to be. In fact, their practices were a lot hotter and more humid than what they experienced at the game. So he said that was not essentially was saying that wasn't a factor.
Well, do you think that the humidity and the noise was a factor in the game?
Okay, I'm not saying it was not a factor because all home games, wherever they are, typically give some advantage.
Okay.
And statistically, it'll show that. I'm saying there's some factor. There always
not
is.
As overplayed
but the
as
way
leading up to the game.
So many comments I got, it was like this massive.
Right.
And I was worried about it. But as I watch a game, I don't feel like it was. And listening to like Keithy after the game, he was asked about the humidity. He goes, it had no factor.
Yeah.
And Coach Witt mentioned it today.
I go back and forth because if you had to play at noon, absolutely, I can see how that would be unbearable. Having it be at 7, it was hot, it was humid, but it wasn't unbearable. They did false start a couple times.
Just twice.
But it's just twice.
That's not the humidity we're talking about.
No, but that's the
crowd noise.
The atmosphere, the whole atmosphere. So I get what Keithy's saying is that it didn't affect anything, but we did have players cramping. So, but not to say that would change the outcome of the game or anything like that. I don't think it made it such an effect that it changed the way we were playing.
I don't think it had a factor at all. Yeah, it was humid and it was hot, but it's September. If they would have played the game at Rice Eccles, it would have been hot. Okay. But yeah, the crowd was loud. We had 2 false starts all game. My guess is this Saturday we'll have 2 false starts.
Well, let's hear a clip from Witt.
Okay, go ahead.
So it goes on with what you're talking about. So he's talking about the noise.
That's wild. Yeah, I mean, that's my point. I don't think that the humidity or the noise was an outcome of the game. In fact, I think if you're a Florida fan and you're hyping that up, that's a disservice to the quality of your team.
Yeah.
I think you're saying, well, our team is good, but the crowd is the reason that we won. No, your team is the reason that you won. There's also a video going around of our corner Broughton puking.
Right.
And I saw that on Florida Twitter a whole bunch. Look at the humidity got to him. Just so you know, he puked last year against Weber State game 1 in Salt Lake City. So I think that's just who he is. He just pukes. So it was hot. It was humid. I'm with you though. A noon kickoff, shoot me in the head.
I don't know how people do
It would
that.
have been
We lucked
awful.
out. It rained for about an hour and a half before the game, and then it stopped.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all things considered, we had the best scenario
Yeah.
you could hope for there.
So that's my 2 cents. I'm impressed with the noise, but I don't think that it played a factor really at all. I think that the team on the field played the factor.
So, all right, let's go to the game. Let's talk about it. Now, I'll just give you my view. Yeah. I mean, we were talking earlier today. Our last 2 games.
So I forgot. So go ahead and say what you're going to say.
Our last 3 games.
3 games.
Oregon, Ohio State, and now Florida.
Yeah.
But the last 2, freak, dude. We lose in the Rose Bowl against Ohio State, and we lose in the last freaking minute by 3 points.
Well, it was literally like the last play of the game.
Last play of the game, right.
A field
we
goal.
lose.
We lose.
Okay, and so now we go to Florida, and victory is right there to be had, and a great play was made, picked off, and we lose.
Last play of the game, lost by 3.
By 3 points.
And lose. So our
the
last
last 2 games against Ohio State, Florida, we have lost by a combined 6 points in the last play of each game. And look, it sucks because they're both there to win, but what a time to be a Utah fan. Honestly,
Dude.
like enjoy.
Could have gone.
It could have gone our way, right? I know it's ifs and whats and could have beens and all that.
Yeah,
but
no moral victories. Like
and I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like we're right there.
it was there.
It's right there.
I'll say about this game with Florida, and it kind of goes with you about the weather, whatever, the loudness. Okay, but I'm just saying I thought it was a classic football game.
It was a great football
It was a
game.
freaking great football game.
2 very good football teams.
Yeah, it's just some great football teams. And, I mean, going back and forth, was it a perfect game? No. It's a first game for both teams. And you can look at the deficiencies and stuff, but you can see a lot of real good things that took place. I don't know. It was just a great football game. Florida, they made the plays. Why don't we listen to a couple of clips from Witt? So I've got 2 clips. One was from the press conference at the end of the game, and then one at the press conference today. They're really brief, but
go.
This is what he says about Florida. So that's the clip 1. Here's clip 2. This is right after the game, really short.
Yeah.
And there you go. So all I would say is Florida's a great football team. They're a good football team, and which Witt said, I mean, they could do some damage.
I think they're the 3rd best team in the SEC. I think it goes Georgia, Bama, Florida. I think Texas A&M's right there. I know Kentucky's pretty decent, but I think they're the 3rd best team. I'll be the first person to admit I underestimated them. I looked at last year. I thought, okay, they had a losing record, new coach. I thought it would take them a while. I will say this. I underestimated them. They were better than I expected. The one thing I will say, Richardson is an incredible athlete, okay? I do not think he's a great quarterback yet. If he could figure out his passing, I think he would be unstoppable. We couldn't stop him. We couldn't stop the run. No. I'm not taking anything away. Again, He beat us. He surprised me. He was a big, physical, impressive, talented athlete that we just couldn't bring down to the ground, and that ultimately was our demise.
I agree with you. I underestimated. I did. I just thought there's no way they will have adjusted fully with this first game. And they probably still haven't. I think they probably still have a lot more improvement that they could do, but they played well. They made the plays. I mean, Witt said their DBs are probably the most talented we will see all season.
Their DBs and their defensive line, I think, is the most talented we're going to see all year.
And the thing that's cool about that is our offense still was able to go down the field and score. Now we had our issues.
Second half.
Oh, we had our issues in the red zone.
God damn it.
But it's an interesting place for us Utah fans to be, where I have a lot of confidence in our offense right now, and I'm worried about the defense. It's switched. But what I'm saying is I have all the confidence in Cam. Our running game was slow. We picked it up in the second half. We struggled on defense. Even Witt said we were sloppy. It was sloppy.
It was ugly.
We were missing our veteran leadership in Lloyd, in Sewell, and we've got some work we got to do. We couldn't stop him. I mean, Richardson was out of his mind.
The guy was unbelievable.
He was, and we've got work to do.
The one thing I'll say about the defense, it was terrible in a lot of places. The run defense was really bad. I looked up our line. Hold on, I got it right here. It literally is sophomore on our defensive line. Our linebackers are a freshman, Barton, a transfer senior who came from Florida.
Yeah.
Another, and then a junior and another junior. So but those are second string guys. So there's a lot of youth that will get better. But man, you got to complete your tackles. We had chances to take them down in the backfield and didn't do it. It cost us. And then, obviously goal line situations. But
we had 27 missed tackles.
That is...
Ooh, that's a lot.
According to Witt. We had 27 missed
Holy cow.
tackles, and typically in any given game, we're in single digits, like around 9.
I did hear him say that, yeah.
No kidding. So 3 times what we usually have.
That was uncharacteristic. That's why it was frustrating, because we're not used to that.
I mean, he was a hard guy to bring down. He was a big dude.
I mean, that's what happened. I'm just saying, in the end, here's how I look at it. In the end, I mean, obviously everyone's involved, but Richardson, he made the plays the entire game.
Yeah.
He made some throws, some good throws, no picks.
No picks.
And he ran a 45-yard touchdown.
Oh, that one hurt.
And he scored a couple other times.
He had 3 rushing touchdowns.
So Richardson made the plays. Okay, Cam Rising, in all honesty, he made the plays. He was the difference for Utah, except to the one play.
One bad play.
At the end of the game, if Cam Rising makes the play in the last, 20 seconds, then he's the hero of the game, and he makes them. I mean, that was the margin of error if you just go with those guys. Richardson was the guy. I mean, he made the plays. I'm not saying the other guys aren't talented, but he's just a special player, and he's skilled, and he's athletic, but it came down, Cam Rising, they drove the whole length of the field in a minute 20, minute 30, minute 29, whatever it was. And there we are to win it. And the guy made a good play, but all I'm saying is that to me is really the difference in that entire battle. Well, Richardson from start to finish, and Cam basically except to there.
It was a blown play. Kincaid fell. Whatever happened, because Witt even talked about it, Kincaid did fall. Cam didn't see the guy, though. He didn't see.
The guy made a great play.
And he made an awesome play. I mean,
throw.
That's what it is. And
it was a poor decision. The guy made a great play. It's the one thing you can't do in that situation because if that doesn't get thrown, we have one more shot. Worst case scenario, we go to overtime. Right? Who knows what happens in overtime? But
so painful.
I will say a couple things. Number one, you can't judge an entire season. Right? The season's not over. I've seen people freaking out. Calm down. It's one game on the road at an SEC team. Calm down. One area that I am concerned about offensively is our receiving core makes me a little nervous. We have two phenomenal tight ends, like I've talked about. I really like Vele and Enos, but I don't see either one, at least in that game, being a star yet. Coming up with that big play, and I think that needs to improve going forward. But I do think that this could be the best team we play all year.
Well, and like Whit said, they're probably the best
corners?
defensive.
Yeah, that's
the
true.
DBs that according to Whit, the best we're gonna see all season.
I mean,
So
they're 4 and 5 star guys.
Yeah.
What do you expect?
right.
Here's just to give you an idea of the game, how close it was. We all know what it was. But as far as turnovers, each had one, obviously. But as far as total yards in the game, 446 Utah, 451 for Florida. Basically,
So the same.
it's a wash as far as that goes. First downs, Utah had more, 25 to 23. Third down efficiency, we were 8 for 13. They were 7 for 12. So
A wash.
basically, which is good for both teams. Fourth down efficiency, this is where Florida made the plays. They were 2 for 2 on fourth down, and we were 0 for 1.
And they went 1 for 1 on 2-point conversions, and we went 0 for 1 on 2-point
So,
conversions.
but total, yeah, okay. And then passing, Utah 216 and 168 for Florida,
So what was our passing?
216,
Okay.
and they were 168.
So we beat them on that.
Rushing, it was Utah 230 and 283 for Florida. A lot, of course, came from Richardson,
Right.
and some of that, some big chunks and broken plays. He just has the ability, but the rushing game, they had more. Penalties, 3 for 15. Basically, only really 2 legit penalties, which is really clean.
The delay of game was on purpose. So
And Florida was 7 for 38 yards. Possession, we had the ball more, which was typical Utah, 32 minutes to 27. I mean, that's about
very
it.
even.
But
it was a close game.
it was a
even
hard-fought battle against 2 very good teams. Florida made those extra plays and won the game. Utah had the shot. They could have done it, didn't. It's not like they gave it away. Florida made some plays, but we were right there.
Yeah.
And boom,
We're right there.
we lose.
on the road.
It was a great game.
First game of the year.
Disappointing, heck.
I still.
When that thing was picked off in the end zone,
I'm still losing sleep over it. But
I mean, it was like,
hate
are you
those-
kidding me?
It's it's just that dagger, and there's nothing else you can do.
no, it's over.
Right in front of us.
Oh,
You know, the other did you watch the play? So when we were, stuffed at the goal line.
Yeah.
So it was the play that Thomas ran and fell. Did you see
Yeah.
that one?
Oh, he's in if he doesn't slide on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The line had pushed it. He was going to
So
score.
He falls on the 4. He was going to score. That was the.
He tripped over Rising's leg.
yeah.
Is that what
Their
happened?
legs hit.
Their legs hit.
So he's in.
He's in.
That play after that, Rising's in.
Well,
I've seen.
I've seen it.
Now I'm not going back and blah blah blah. I'm just saying, I think he was in. I've seen videos he was in. So, but look, we lost. They made the plays.
Yeah.
I'm not taking anything away from Florida. Okay, I don't want to get in the comments on YouTube and be like, "You guys are so stupid. You're not giving credit." They were better than I expected them to be. I think they're going to win a bunch of games. Are they SEC champion levels? Not yet, but give it a year or two.
Hey, I'd love it if they beat freaking
I know, I
Alabama.
will say-
would
They got
love
Georgia on
that. Hello, if you could be SEC
Take
champions.
Georgia out. How about that?
I'm
No
telling you,
kidding. I will cheer for you over all of them.
that's gonna make my stomach churn. But
No,
Very
I would love
good.
it.
They're way better than I expected. I can see them easily winning 9, 10 games this year. I really can.
Yeah.
It'll be very interesting to see as they go forward. Last year, they were two totally different teams. I think they went 5-1 at home, and then they lost. They went 1-6 on the road or something like that. It'll be interesting to see what this team is like on the road. So I'll be watching.
There's a whole season ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to, for me, do whatever you want to do, but my prediction,
Am I allowed?
my prediction was 38-28. And I stand by it. It didn't play out. But as you'll notice, Florida scored 29. I said they were going to get 28. Okay? So I felt like
It's
I was
a new year. It's the same. It's the same Gary.
Would you listen to me, you losers?
I was 1 point away.
I didn't say they were going to score 7 points or 14 points. I figured they would score about this many, and they did. I figured Utah would score 38. Now, and so I stand by what I did because typically, if you give Cam Rising the ball
At the 2-yard line.
we have 4 plays at the 2-yard line, boom, it's in.
Yeah.
That's Utah ball. We typically, that goes in.
Last year, those were in.
Those are in.
And honestly, I think against 11 of our 12 opponents this season, those are in.
All I'm saying is,
Just
I will
saying.
take that odd on that even with Florida on another day, if it was the same scenario, it goes in the end zone. They stopped us here, and then we get down onto the 5-yard line with 4 downs to go to win the game. Cam Rising's been money.
Yeah.
And so for that to happen, that surprised me more than anything. And
Yeah.
so, I still feel like we could have had 38 points isn't an unreasonable, a 10-point victory if Utah executes how they have or in the past.
No.
It doesn't surprise me. So, I stand by it, but hey, Florida made the plays. It didn't happen. Boom, we lost. So
Nobody
there you go.
got the score right in our comments. So sorry, no one gets
No
a
one's
prize.
getting it.
Sorry. Nobody's getting a prize this week because there was nobody that predicted that score.
Yeah, okay, well, but I'm going to now, with all of what has been said, I am going to express my fan experience where we sat.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go on forever about it, but hey, I'm going to say it. As much as I like the swamp, our seats were right in front of the student section.
So the way they have it set up
It's terrible.
is there's students. This is what it seemed like to us. There's students kind of in the end zone, and then it curves around, and then there's students at the very front of the section, and then there's like 20, 30 rows of regular seats. And then there's students above everybody also.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
And we happen to be the row in front of the upper part of the students.
So that's where we were, and that's fine. I figured that I knew what we were getting ourselves into when we got him, to some degree. So what I'm talking about, I'm not talking about energy. I'm not talking about students being loud, enthusiastic, into the game, all of that stuff. Because I know what students. I've been around enough students. We've been students. We know all of that stuff. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is we were around a bunch of a-holes. Crude, rude, disgusting pig a-holes. Can I say it that way?
I think that's saying it nicely.
Okay, and I'm not gonna go any further. I'm not gonna go on and on about it, but it was bad. Just a couple of examples. So we were in a group. I had one of my daughters with me. They have a 3-year-old young son with them. So, for instance, one example, we turned around because we wanted a picture of us with the football field behind us. So we have this great picture of the swamp, and the students are right there, and they're all sitting there flipping us off and yelling, F Utah, F Utah.
This is before the
Before the
game
game.
even
This is
started.
before the game.
It's 20 minutes before kickoff.
Yeah.
And then they would brush up behind us as close as they could, over our heads, F Utah, and all sorts of other vulgarities. Some guy came up to my wife in the portal, right in her face, and said, F Utah. Okay, see, this isn't being a fan.
This dick.
This is being an a-hole. And so that was not a good experience. Now, I will say this. There were two guys in front of me who were older guys, and they were Florida fans, and they were great. I had a conversation with them. It's just, here's what I say. Is I cannot believe that the Florida University administration would be proud of a student section like this and the way they behave.
Not even a little.
I'm not saying every single one, but there were enough that it was over the top. I can't imagine the football team would actually be happy that their student body were treating other people that way. That was not a good experience. Having said all that, for me, I'm not going to let that taint my view of some other people I met who were really nice and I talked to even coming out of the game. They were older. And I'm not going to let that taint the overall experience there in the swamp and what I've already talked about, or the fact that I hope Florida has a successful season. I'll cheer for the football team, but I'm just saying in this experience, that was pathetic. And I would say this. If I was at a Utah game here at Rice-Eccles Stadium and I was near the students and they were doing this, I'd turn around and tell them all to go to hell and to pipe down because it was terrible. It shouldn't be that way anywhere. It was over the top.
As somebody who ran a very successful student section for 15 years, the best student section in the country, mind you, I cannot fathom the idea of putting fans and students in the same area together. That is why it's called a student section. You remove them from everybody else. You put them in their own area because we all know students are going to act like this.
Yeah, not to that level, though.
Well, I think they probably do. It's unfortunate to think that, but I think they probably do. The problem is when you're mixing everybody in together and then the students are treating us that way. If you removed that, you remove the problem. But see, this is what I can't understand. I feel like the university doesn't care. Maybe that's a bold statement to say. There is no way the university doesn't know that this is going on, because believe me, I sat in so many meetings about logistics and security issues and fan complaints and things like this that would happen in student section here at Utah. So there is no way they don't know this stuff is going on. And so for them to just say, oh, well, because we've talked to some other Utah fans who had the same experience, who complained to security did nothing. So I hate to think that, but like you said, it's hard to think that administration and alumni and athletics would just be okay with away fans having this kind of experience, because it was awful. And look, we've been to a lot of away games, so we're not just, this isn't our first rodeo, people.
Pollyanna's here.
No. I've had F Utah screamed in my face at other places too. This was on another level. This was, it was so over the top. It never stopped. It was so disrespectful. It was horrible. But like you said, we met a lot of really great Florida fans too.
Yeah.
Even after the game, we had a few, said some really nice thing to us on our way to the car beforehand, people in our hotel. So I don't ever want to say it's all Florida fans. It was the students, but it was a horrible experience.
You want to add?
It was.
Some?
Yeah, for me, like you said, I've had experiences. I've been to Notre Dame, Michigan, almost all Pac-12 schools. I've had interaction with almost every one of those fan bases. I've never had an experience like this. And to echo a lot of what you're saying, and I see people on Twitter, justifying it as welcome to the SEC. No. If that's your attitude, you got a problem. What do you expect when you come to the swamp? I heard that a bunch. I don't expect, the F Utah, the flipping me off, whatever. Whatever. I love a good chirp. I do. I love some back and forth.
Yeah, but there's a
But
line.
it goes across the line when, for whatever reason, you want to pick a fight with me for no reason whatsoever. When you start to get physical, I know of a couple of fans who were pushed. One guy had his cell phone thrown from the student. He was on his phone and a fan grabbed it and hucked it.
They were throwing a lot of other things too.
Yeah, we
I
got
got
hit a
water
few
bottles
times.
thrown at me from 2 rows behind. It wasn't like a random, it was, I saw the girl throw it. And the Gator chomp, great, go for it. When you accidentally hit my wife in the head, okay, fine. Once, twice, maybe accidents. For 4 quarters straight, you accidentally hit my wife in the head to the point where I'm about to kick your ass. It gets excessive. And that's, to me, again, I'm not a pansy. I've been to enough places. If you want to yell F Utah in my face, I'll probably just laugh because I think you're drunk and stupid. But this was so over the top that it did. It ruined what could have been an incredible experience. I've interacted with some people who were very nice, wishing us well for the most part. But yeah, they were dicks. I mean, there's no other way to say
the
it.
students were horrible. It's an
Horrible.
issue. If those were my students, like I said, I would be mortified.
And if you're a student at any university, have fun, cheer for your team, be loud, but don't be a jerk to people, right? Like, we're all just people. I flew home, and I go to work tomorrow, right? Like, I still am just a normal person. I happen to be wearing red, right? You don't have to get in my face and want to fight me and hit my wife at the football game, yelling obscene, horrible things at me.
Yeah.
Like,
Anyway,
Well,
Good point.
it was what it was, but
that's reality.
It's
That's one of the things we
unfortunate.
had.
it's making it really hard for me to cheer for Florida. If I'm being really honest, I know
Understand, man.
it's like, for the good of Utah, it would be good for them to go 10-2. I've always cheered for Florida, right? SEC comes on, Florida's playing Florida State. Go Gators, right? I'll cheer for them. At this point, I don't know if I can stomach it. They really tainted the Florida name in my opinion.
it's too bad.
And it is too bad because it was a very cool venue.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, there you go. Whoever's listening, Utah fans, Ohio State fans, Florida fans, take it for what it's worth.
Yeah.
That was
And-
our
and
experience.
Don't
I
call me
mean,
soft in the comments because, like I said,
Because believe me,
That's what we
Believe me.
experienced.
it more than just us three had that experience.
Yes, unfortunately. Yeah.
All right, so believe it or not, I've read some statements on some of the Utah social media, and people are like, "Fire Wit,
Burn it to the ground.
I can't with the fireworks.
Cam's an
either.
idiot, Cam's
Oh.
bad." They want to jump
How
off.
dare you come after Cam?
If you come after Cam, your IQ is below a potato,
It is so.
and get off social media.
It is so stupid. I mean, we have one game, classic game against a freaking great team. It could have gone our way. It didn't. And they're all freaking out.
And it's the first game of
It's
the
the first
year.
game. And the bottom line is, it's all actually still in front of us, believe it or not.
It really is.
It's all even,
season
even.
to go. Yeah.
Even the college football playoff. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but
the margin of error is gone.
for instance, from the little pencil neck himself, Paul Finebaum,
What else, pencil neck?
Yeah, he's pencil neck.
who we quote quite often because, he's an SEC homer. More power to him. He's no Utah fan.
Yeah, he actually picked Florida in this game, and he was right.
Yeah, he was right.
Yeah, well, but this is what he said. I agree. I agree with some. I can hear the guy's little. I agree. I can hear his voice in my head when I read it.
Awful.
It's terrible.
Awful.
I agree with some of our friends. Utah is probably not out of it, the CFP race yet. But I remember when Oregon was not out of it either a couple of years ago when they lost to Bo Nix and Auburn, and they ended up being out of it later on. Well, that's profound. Yeah. Utah looked good enough, and the ending of the game will give them some credibility if they run the table. They do look like a really good team, but the Gators on a national night figured it out. All I'm saying,
Bingo.
exactly. I mean, yes, if Utah were to run the table, meaning they'd have to win every game in regular season and win the Pac-12 championship.
Right.
Okay, absolutely. They're still in the hunt.
100%.
Now, with the odds, okay, it's out there, but
Here's the thing. I've heard numerous college football analysts say the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's one of those games where I was like, I can't listen to stuff, but I have to because I want to know what they're saying. And actually, I've heard quite a few say the same thing. Now, it's not going to be easy. I mean, hello.
No.
There's a whole lot of games to still play, but here's where we're at.
yeah.
So stop jumping off
it's
the
not
cliff.
over. It was a freaking
It was
two
one
power
game
houses playing.
against a very good team who will probably be ranked 14th, if not better.
That will be.
They'll be ranked. We'll still be ranked, right? The path is still there. The margin of error is gone. I genuinely think this is probably the best team we play all year, although I did watch some games. Arizona's better. Oregon State's better. I think we broke Oregon.
Oregon sucks. Oh
I don't know
gosh.
what we broke that program. I don't know what happened. USC, who knows? But it's all very
Screw
winnable.
you, USC.
But yes, you have to run the table. If you win the Pac-12, but you've lost another game or two, the football playoff is out. But winning the Pac-12, still there. Going to the Rose Bowl again, still there. And look, who knows? There could be some crazy stuff that happens where a bunch of teams lose. Look, you know who lost a game last year? Just FYI, Georgia. Georgia lost a football game last year. Still went to the playoff. Still won the national championship. I'm not saying we're Georgia. Okay, I'm just saying it happens, and it's still there.
Yeah, and I mean, stupid in my view. The whole season is just that.
It's one game.
The odds are, because let's be honest here. You've got Alabama, Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia.
Those are juggernauts.
And we're looking at one other team, essentially.
I know.
One or two other teams in the entire nation to get in. So let's all be realistic. There's a lot of good football teams that will not be there. And so, would it be a fantastic thing? Freak, yeah, but my whole season's not going to be live or die on this. The main goal is the Pac-12 for us and get to the Rose Bowl. If you do it well enough, then this opportunity might arise. So, hey, and who said USC?
I said
What
USC.
is it? The darlings of the freaking media now?
They
freaking USC.
They
You
played
suck.
Rice and they won because it's a JUCO team and
Good
it's like,
grief.
oh, USC's back. They played Rice. Calm the freak
I can't
down.
wait till they come to Rice Eccles.
Oh, I can't either.
USC is going to lose to some crap.
They'll lose to Arizona.
They'll lose to Arizona, probably.
I wouldn't be surprised.
They always do every year. They're going to lose to us at Rice Eccles. I can't with the USC talk.
No.
Big deal. You beat a nobody. It's same with Alabama. Okay, they rolled over Utah State just like we did, like we said they would. USC did the same thing.
By the way, I don't know if you
They
saw
beat a
this.
team they were supposed to beat.
Yeah. Alabama plays at Texas this week.
Okay.
They're a 21-point favorite at Texas.
Who is?
Alabama. They're going to roll them. Real quick, we need to mention this. On Friday, they have officially announced that the playoff is going from 4 teams to 12 teams starting in 2026. At least that's the time now.
If it can be worked out.
They're
sooner,
hoping to do it sooner. Yeah.
with the 6 conference champions with an automatic, bid, and then 6 at-large bids.
Yeah, that's a big
That's
news.
huge.
I'm sure we'll talk all about it when it comes.
But that needs to be talked about because you're exactly right. When you look right now, it's those
only
3
4
teams,
teams.
and then
It's really only one
It's
team.
one team. There's one team out of 130 programs that's going to be able to get in. In the future, it's going to be you win your conference, you're rewarded, and then 6 other teams. Now, I've heard the argument of, well, with the 12 teams, you're going to get a lot of the Georgia versus Oregon that happened this last weekend. And who cares?
It'll still be awesome.
It'll still be awesome. And guess what? You're still going to watch.
Can we talk about Georgia, Oregon? Just for a couple minutes. We have to talk about some of these games.
Let's quick.
Some of these games that went on.
Okay, we can't go.
No. Within 2 plays, I was like, Oregon sucks.
Game was over in 2 plays.
In 2 plays. They looked
Yeah, I'm a little
horrible.
disappointed. That was the showing they gave.
I know.
I was
what?
cheering
Believe
for
it
them.
or not.
I was hoping. I thought
That
their
was
uniforms looked great. They walked out on the field, and the game was over.
Okay, is that on that one?
Well,
Ohio
yeah.
State. Oh,
I mean,
what
we
happened?
We didn't get to watch it. We were just
Okay,
looking at the
here's the thing.
score.
Notre Dame's probably better than I expected, but Notre Dame only gave up 71 yards in the entire second half. So they figured it out. One of the receivers, I can't remember which one it was, got hurt early in the game. Gosh dang it, I wish I knew which one it was.
Wasn't
but
it Smith?
yeah, it was.
Njigba?
It was. So he got hurt and only had 2 catches. So there was some things,
I know, but dude,
but you got to beat them.
I was surprised.
I was surprised. What other game happened?
Okay, Florida State and LSU. The heart
That
palpitations
game was awesome.
that would have happened if you were for us watching
us.
that was the oh my gosh,
Yeah,
that was a
it wasn't
classic.
Utah, so it was great.
Go down
I know
in
Florida.
history.
What I'm going to say here. Well, I don't know what Florida fans. Well, they probably wanted Florida State to lose.
I would assume.
I liked watching LSU lose. I'm not a Brian Kelly fan. I think he's overrated. So I was kind of happy. And Daniels, we owned him at Arizona State for how many years?
Daniels.
So I wasn't cheering for him all that much. But it was just a wild finish.
But see that
That's
game
college ball.
that game right there is quintessential why we love college football, and it shows that you have no idea what's going to happen.
Well, the game was
next.
over.
You don't know what's going to happen.
And then it
a
wasn't.
pitch on the.
And then it's 99 yards.
Yeah, but why do you pitch the
I don't
ball
know.
when you're on the
don't
1
know.
yard line?
Just take a freaking knee and kick a field goal for Pete's sake.
Game's over.
Game's over, but
Then
99
he fumbles
yards.
the punt, and then they don't
Scores.
score, and then they go the whole field, and then they miss.
Block an extra point. When's the last time you saw an extra point
It was
blocked?
so insane.
It was
Anyways,
awesome.
we play a game this Saturday, Utah fans. By the way,
SUU,
Oh, nah.
that should be a blowout. Nothing to say.
11:30 a.m. See you in Rice Eccles.
yeah.
All right.
It's going to be hot. We got to get score predictions.
Oh god.
No.
Yes.
haven't
You
even-
have to.
I haven't
50
even thought
to
about
3.
55-10.
it. Okay,
10.
45-7.
Okay, there you
That's
go.
fair. So in that ballpark somewhere.
Are we doing any giveaves for the score prediction or just
Not this week, just on
All right,
Not,
Instagram.
not this week.
go to Instagram, follow the instructions? It's pretty basic stuff.
Go
All right.
Utes.
All right.
Ball is back. Disappointed, but hey, I like football. It was a great game. I like playing in those games.
I
It's
would
fun,
much
man.
rather play a game like that than SUU, honestly.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, look, we're going to blow SUU's doors off. We're going to get an easy W, but
Nah, man, it was
gives a
great.
crap. Go to Florida.
cool.
That's the way
Let's
she
go.
goes. All right. Go Utes. Let's do it. I hope it's not 1,000 degrees,
It's going to
though.
be so hot. It's going to be like 100 and something degrees because we're in the stadium.
And there's
metal
no
bleachers.
Your neck fan.
Your neck fan.
That won't work. After a while, it
neck
stops.
fan, a cooling rag, and my new bucket hat that's about this big.
I know, but it's aluminum benches and stuff all over the place. Cement. But go Utes. Let's keep it going.